Hello students, welcome to the video class for the subject switchgear and protective device. This is for 6th semester diploma electrical engineering students. So today we are going to discuss about air blast circuit breaker. So this air blast circuit breaker this is one of the type of circuit breaker, and this is the I already told you the different types of circuit breaker. That means the classification of circuit breaker here we are taking on the basis of uh, medium of arc. Okay, that means arc quenching medium. Depend on arc quenching medium, there are various types of air circuit breaker. So one of the type is the oil circuit breaker, which we already discussed in the previous video classes, and today our topic is the air blast circuit breaker. So these breakers employ a high pressure air blast as an arc quenching medium. That means this type of breaker employ a high pressure, okay, create a high pressure air blast as an arc quenching medium. So the contacts, when the contacts, that means the fixed contact and moving contact which is present in the circuit breaker. So when the contacts are opened in the flow of air blast established by the opening of the blast valve, okay, so the air blast cools the arc and sweeps away the arcing products to the atmosphere. This rapidly increases the dielectric strength of medium between contacts and prevent from re-establishing the arc, and consequently the arc is extinguished and flow of current is interrupted. Okay, so see, this is the circuit breaker. This is one contact, this is another contact, these are, and this is the moving contact. So in this area, okay, high pressure air blast is applied. So when these contacts are opening, at this moment high pressure air blast is applied through this contact gap. Okay, so what this high pressure air gap does, this high pressure air blast, what it done, the air blast cools the arc and sweeps away the arcing products to the atmosphere. Okay, and when the arcing products are swept away to the atmosphere, this rapidly increases the dielectric strength of the medium between the contacts or between the gap and prevents from re-establishing the arc. Okay, so in this way the arc is extinguished and flow of current is interrupted. So there are some advantages for the air blast circuit breaker. So see, the risk of fire is eliminated, which is occur in the oil circuit breaker. Okay, the arcing products, the arcing products are completely removed. Okay, so as the air blast swipe away the arcing product, so that's why the arcing products are completely removed by the blast, whereas oil deteriorate with successive operation. Okay, and the expense of regular oil replacement is avoided. The growth of dielectric strength is so rapid that the final contact gap needed for arc extinction is very small. This reduces the size of the devices. The arcing time is very small also due to the rapid buildup of dielectric strength between the contacts. Therefore, arc energy is a fraction of that in the oil circuit breaker, thus resulting in less burning of contact. Then due to lesser arc energy, air blast circuit breaker are very suitable for conditions where frequent operation is required. Okay, then the energy supplied for arc extinction is obtained from high pressure air and is independent of current to be interrupted. Clear? There are some disadvantages of this air blast circuit breaker. What are those? The use of air as arc quenching medium offers the following disadvantages. What are those? The air has relatively inferior arc extinguishing property. Okay, so as compared to the oil circuit breaker. Then the air blast circuit breaker are very sensitive to variations in the rate of risk of restriking voltage. Okay, so it is very sensitive to the variation in the rate of rise of restriking voltage. That means when there is increase in the rate of rise of restriking voltage, then the arc quenching is also affected. Okay, because the air blast circuit breaker, it is very sensitive to the variation in the rate of rise of restriking voltage. Then considerable maintenance is required for compressor plant that supply air blast. Okay, so that high pressure air blast is supplied from one type of compressor plant, so we need to maintain we need to do maintenance of that compressor plant regularly. So these are all the advantages and disadvantages of air blast circuit breaker, and its major application is a high voltage installation. Okay, for voltage beyond 110 kilovolt. Okay, so there are some types of air blast circuit breaker. See, first one is axial blast type. This is the structure for axial blast type. This is the fixed contact. Moving contact blast is like this, in this direction. Okay, for axial blast type, arc is blast in this direction, axial. Okay, then the next one is cross blast type. Cross blast type, see, this is the fixed contact, this is moving contact. Here the blast is perpendicular to the arc. Okay, here the blast is directed at right angle to the arc path. Okay, this is the arc path is like this. This is the blast. So here blast is right angle to the arc path. And the last one is the radial blast type. Okay, so here the blast is happened radially. So see, this is a fixed contact, this is moving contact. So blast is like this. This is called radially blast. Okay, so these are the type of air blast which we will discuss one by one. So see, axial blast air circuit breaker. What happens here? So this figure showing the essential components for typical axial blast air circuit breaker. So what happens here? See, the fixed and moving contact are held in closed position by spring pressure under normal condition. Okay, so this is our moving contact, and this is our fixed contact. This is the fixed contact, this is moving contact. So normal condition, what happens here? These two are in closed position with the spring pressure. So the air reservoir is connected to the arcing chamber through an air valve. So this is the arcing chamber over here. Okay, so here there is one air reservoir connected to this arcing chamber through this air valve. Okay, this is the air valve, this is the air reservoir. So the air reservoir is connected to the arcing chamber through the air valve. So this valve remains closed. Okay, so this valve remains closed under normal condition but opens automatically by the tripping impulse when the fault occurs on the system. So when there is a fault, then the moving contact is moved away from the fixed contact. So with this, there is one tripping impulse. With this, there is one tripping impulse which is applied to this valve on signal. Okay, so this valve remains closed under normal condition, but when this is open, these contacts are open, then automatically one tripping impulse is created, and with this tripping impulse, that means when fault occurs, automatically one tripping impulse is applied to this air valve and this air valve is opened. Okay, automatically. But when fault occurs, the tripping impulse causes opening of the air valve, which connects the circuit breaker reservoir to the arcing chamber. The high pressure air entering the arcing chamber pushes away the moving contact against the spring pressure. The moving contact is separated and an arc is struck. At the same time, high pressure air blast flows along the arc and takes away the ionized gases along with it, and consequently the arc is extinguished and current flow is interrupted. So when this moving contact is moved away from this fixed contact, there is formation of arc over here, okay, over here. So with this, what happens, stripping impulse is created, applied to this air valve, then air valve is opened, then at the same time high pressure air is blasted to this arc path and it sweep away all the arcing products, okay, to the atmosphere, okay. Okay, so when the high pressure air blast flows along the arc and takes away the ionized gases along with it, then what happens, the arc is extinguished and the current is interrupted, okay. So one important note point is there. What is that? See, the contact separation required for interruption is generally small in this type of air blast circuit breaker, okay. So such a small gap may constitute inadequate clearance for the normal service voltage, okay. So whatever clearance is created over here when the arc is extinguished, that is very insufficient, okay. So when these two fixed contact and moving contact are separated for interruption, okay, there is a small gap created for interruption of flow of current. So this small gap sometimes constitute inadequate clearance for normal service voltage. So that's why one isolating switch is incorporated. This is the isolating switch is incorporated as a part of this type of circuit breaker, okay. So this switch opens immediately after fault interruption to provide the necessary clearance for insulation, okay. So when there is a interruption, fault interruption, so after that this isolator switch, this is a series isolator, this isolator switch is opened, okay, to complete or to give necessary clearance for insulation, okay. So when this switch is open, this series isolator is opened, after that this circuit breaker portion is completely isolated from the rest of the system, and this provides complete clearance, okay, for insulation purpose. So the next type is the cross blast air circuit breaker. So what happens in cross blast air circuit breaker? See, so in this type of circuit breaker, an air blast is directed at right angle to the arc. So this is when, see, this is a fixed contact, this is a fixed contact, this is a moving contact, okay. So when these two are separated, there is the formation arc over here like this, in this way, and the arc is blast right angle to this arc path. So in this type of circuit breaker, an air blast is directed at right angle to the arc. The cross blast lengthen and forces the arc into a suitable chute for arc extinction, okay. So this is the chute, means this is one kind of structure made over here. There is so many arc splitters are present here. So when the air is blast right angle with the arc path, so through this all the arc, okay, all the arc are all the arc are forced to this to flow through this chute, okay. The cross blast lengthens and forces the arc into a suitable chute for arc extinction, okay. So when the moving contact is withdrawn, an arc is struck between the fixed and moving contact, and the high pressure cross blast forces the arc into a chute consisting of arc splitter and baffles. So the splitter serves to increase the length of the arc and baffles gives improved cooling, and the result is that arc is extinguished and flow of current is interrupted. Since the blast pressure is same for all current, the inefficiency at low current is eliminated. The final gap for arc extinction is great enough to give normal insulation clearance, so there is no series isolating switch, not necessary. Okay, so see, when the air is blast through this direction, through in right angle to the arc path, then the arc is the arc is what move the arc is forced to flow through this chute. Okay, in this chute there is a backfill and splitters are present. So these arc splitters, what they do, they lengthen the arc, and these and the backfills present over the here cooling, okay, cooling the arc. Okay, and after this what happened again, see, whatever the amount of current, low current or high current, it doesn't matter, because the air blast pressure is remains same for all kind of current. So that's why blast pressure is same for all current, so the inefficiency at low current is eliminated, which is occur in case of self blast oil circuit breaker, sorry, arc axial blast air circuit breaker. Okay, in the axial blast air circuit breaker there is the low current inefficiency, but here inefficiency at low current is eliminated, because whatever be the current, low or high, the pressure of this arc blast remains same throughout the process. That's why the final gap for interruption is great enough to give normal insulation clearance, so that the series isolating switch is not necessary. So this is all about your air blast circuit breaker. Two types of air blast circuit breaker we discussed. One is cross blast and another one is axial blast. Okay, so go through this video and study and read it properly. Okay, thank you.